First trader came to Macedon one day and offered King Philip II an offer for a beautiful horse, black fur with a white star mark on its head. The only problem was that no one could tame this horse until Philip's young son, Alexander, stepped forward and claimed that he himself could. He walked to the mighty stallion and pointed his head to the sun, calming the horse who was in fear of his own shadow. Alexander then climbed atop the horse and rode it into the horizon. When Alexander got back, Philip embraced Alexander, proclaiming, "My boy, you must find a kingdom worthy of your ambition, for Macedonia is too small for you." In this two-part series, we will be exploring the life and reign of Alexander the Great. I'm your host, and this is history. Alexander III of Macedon was born sometime in 356 BC in Palea, the capital kingdom of Macedon at the time. He was born to King Philip II and was in line for the throne. When Alexander was a boy, he was tutored by a strict man named Leonidas. No, not the Leonidas from the Battle of Thermopylae. That would be horribly out of place. Who was a relative of his mother. Later on, around age 16, he was tutored by Aristotle, yes, the Aristotle, who taught him ethics, diplomacy, logic, and the arts for about 3 years. After his studying with Aristotle ended, Alexander was put in charge of a small Macedonian regiment to help defeat the Thracians, and, by all accounts, was an excellent leader despite his young age. Later on, in 338 BC, during the Battle of Coronea, Philip and Alexander led the Macedonian army to Thebes. Philip led his part of the army south while Alexander broke through the Theban hoplites. And despite Thebans having Athenian reinforcements, the Macedonians had them surrounded when Philip flanked the army, and thus winning the battle. But then, things escalated at Macedon when the army returned, as Philip married someone named Cleopatra Eurydice, who threatened Alexander's position as heir to the throne. Famously, a drunken general proclaimed that he hoped the union between Cleopatra and Philip would produce a, legitimate heir. Yeah, Alexander was greatly offended to that. By 337 BC, Alexander fled Macedon with his mother, dropping her off with her brother, King Alexander I of Epirus in Dodona, capital of Molossians. He continued to Illyria, where he sought refuge with one or more Illyrian kings, perhaps with Glaucus, and was treated as a guest despite having defeated them in battle just a few years prior. However, it appears Philip never intended to disown his politically and militarily trained son. According to Alexander, he returned to Macedon after 6 months due to the efforts of a family friend, Demaratus, who mediated between the two parties. When Alexander finally ascended to the throne, he quickly crushed any resistance by what amounted to simple marching band routines on the countryside. In the next episode, we will discuss Alexander's conquest of Persia. I'm your host, and that's history.